G'day, Spuddies. Been a few days. Life's busy. It's hard to keep up with doing these videos, but anyway, 5 days between is not too bad. I hope you'll forgive me. A few days ago, I was on the very highly popular, well, I wasn't personally, but the very highly popular dietdoctor.com website, the low carb promoters. Wrote an article about me entitled, "Can you lose weight if you eat only potatoes?" The article's written by Andreas Einfeld, and it was published on July 17th. And that's it's not really about me. It's more about my Spud Fit challenge and potatoes and stuff. It's a hugely popular low carb website, so keep that in mind when you read that. These guys, their job, they have a lot of money invested. Well, I don't know if they have money invested, but they stand to lose money if people go away from a low carb diet. So their interest is in pushing people towards a low carb diet because they make money from it. So, well, maybe not just because they make money for it. I should be fair on them. They might actually believe that they're doing a healthy thing. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt there. Anyway, I'm not going to speculate on other people's motivations, but they are selling stuff on low carb, high fat diets. So, can you lose weight if you eat only high carb food, specifically potatoes? So they're going through that. They mentioned me, and they linked to my 6-month video review. And thank you for doing that, Diet Doctor people. That was generous of you to send people over to my YouTube video page. So I thank you. Overall, when I heard I had an article published about me on Diet Doctor, the low carb, high fat website, I thought, oh no, here we go. Who knows what's going to happen? But clearly I'm not doing low carb, high fat. So I assumed it was going to be really bad. But overall, it was about as good an article as I could expect, really, from a low carb website. They were quite fair in the areas that they could be. So, yes, the initial thing is, yes, it's possible you can lose weight, but there's more than one way. They went on to talk about Andreas. Sorry, I shouldn't say they. There was one guy that wrote the article. It was Andreas Einfeld. He talked about sensory-specific satiety, which is something that not using that specific name, but something that I had talked about from the beginning of this experiment, and that is to do with basically, potatoes are boring food. So when you get to the point, if you're eating chocolate cake, for example, it's a very exciting food. The eating experience is very exciting. Fireworks go off in the brain. When you reach the point of fullness, the cake might be so good that it doesn't matter how full you feel in your stomach, you still want more because the eating experience is so enjoyable. And potatoes are not that. So when you reach the point of fullness, that you don't have the extra incentive to eat more because the pleasure that you get out of eating a potato is not enough to override the feeling of fullness that you have. So because of that, you end up eating less. And yeah, that's something I've said from the start. So yeah, we can agree on that. The only thing I would say is that I think maybe in this article, you might have, Andreas, I think you've overstated the effect of it. I'm still eating, where is it here? This is probably... so I'm eating way less. I can't find it right now, but I don't want to read through the whole thing. There was a point where Andreas Einfeld said that I would be eating way less food because of this. And no doubt I'm eating less food, I'm taking in less calories than I was last year, of course. But I think we need to be careful there because I'm not eating a small amount of food. I'm eating 3.5 to 4 kilos a day 8 pounds a day of potatoes. I'm eating 3,000 calories a day plus of potatoes. So I'm not eating a small amount of food. Yeah, I'm eating less than I was last year, but I'm not eating a small amount of food. So I just thought it was important. This is the most important thing I wanted to point out in this article. This is not a restrictive thing that I'm doing. And yeah, this article didn't specifically say that it's a restrictive thing and that I'm eating a very small amount of food. It just said way less, but I'm just worried that people might misinterpret that to think that that I'm really not eating much at all, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm eating quite a lot of food here, but I'm sure I'm eating less than last year. So we're sort of, I think you're right. I think we sort of agree. We do agree on this sensory specific satiety, but I just want to make sure we're not overstating the impact of that. But it is a big impact for sure. Then we go on to talk about how about insulin, and that's something that I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to try and explain the insulin hypothesis and why I think it's wrong. But anyway, that's something we'll disagree on for now. The thing about the article that really worries me, though, is that towards the end of the article, it says you could do this trick on a low-carb, high-fat diet too, and it will probably lead to even lower insulin levels and even faster weight loss. So the first point is, just remember, I'm not focusing on weight loss here. This is not a weight loss quest. I'm really happy that I've lost the weight, but this is about trying to improve my relationship with food, which I feel I've been really successful at. And that's, to me, so far is a bigger achievement than the weight loss. I feel really good about that. So let's try not to focus on faster weight loss. And I'm going to talk about insulin. I don't know why we think insulin is such the big enemy. Insulin is, we haven't evolved over all these years to produce a hormone that's going to kill us. If we eat the right diet, if we're eating a diet that allows insulin to go up and then down reasonably quickly, you're all good. We don't need to never see insulin ever. If you eat and insulin raises to help you digest and utilize parts of what you're eating, i.e. carbohydrates, and then it does its job and goes away, insulin's not a problem. If it stays high, then you've got a problem. And we can talk about the mechanisms of that another time. Anyway, the next part is how could you do it on a low carb, high fat diet? Eating only eggs, nothing else. That is the part that I really have a problem with, which is why I wanted to make this video. Yes, people have eaten only eggs for a month or 2 months and done reasonably well. But when we talk about deficiencies, there is no fiber in eggs. There is no vitamin C. I've had lots of people say I'm going to get scurvy from eating potatoes. Potatoes have heaps of vitamin C. Eggs have none. And you want me to go for a whole year eating only eggs? Nah. That is a recipe for scurvy. People have said I'll get bowel cancer because of a lack of fibre. There's heaps of fibre in potatoes. Guess what there's no fibre in? Eggs. No fibre. I'm not going to go for a whole year eating no fibre. Then we might be looking at a bowel cancer situation. I'm not going to say you would get bowel cancer, but it is a worry. If you have a diet that has no fibre in it, then there are lots of things to worry about. Gut health could be a problem too, because your gut relies so much on fibre. So I thought that was pretty irresponsible, to say the least. Yeah, a month or two, yeah, you could probably get away with it, but eating only eggs for a year, I don't think so. There's numerous other, so 3 or 4 other things that I found when I put this into Chronometer that were also severely lacking in eggs. So that was, the article overall was pretty good, but eating only eggs for a year, I think that is irresponsible, to say the least, from the dietdoctor.com website and from Andreas Einfeld. And I just wanted to make sure that we make sure that I, address that. Anyway, thanks, Diet Doctor, for putting an article on about me, and overall I thought it was a pretty good article, so look it up if you want. It's called, again, the title, Can You Lose Weight If You Eat Only Potatoes, on dietdoctor.com, and you can go and comment on that if you want. And anyway, that's it for me. Go to my website and sign up for the newsletter if you want to keep up with what I'm doing. Share my stuff if you like it, and like my Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. Thanks for watching, everyone. Spud up.